Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and I am going to do a collaboration video today. This is called Out with a Bang, the Last Days of Summer Collaboration, and it has a hashtag, and I'm going to put that in the description. It's hosted by Junk Journal Fix with Sunflowers and Doors Facebook group. I'll put all these links below, links to their Etsy shops and all of that kind of good stuff. They gave us 2 kits to play around with, and then they also gave us tons and tons of freebies, and I haven't even got all of the freebies printed off yet. And I do want to apologize to Julie and everyone else in the group. I completely failed to do my video on the 3rd. I don't know where my brain was. I didn't have that circled. I had all this printed out. I had the 14th circled, but for some reason I completely missed my name on the 3rd. So I am so sorry. This is not something that I normally do. I don't think I've ever forgot a collab before. I usually keep everything on my calendar and everything in front of me so I can make sure that I get my videos done in a prompt manner and get them uploaded. But I completely failed and I'm sorry. I am very sorry. So on the 3rd, it was Jen's arty inclinations, and Jen, I'm sorry that I didn't get my video up with you that day. I am on today, the 14th, and then I told Julie, I said, go ahead and put me somewhere else if you want to, since I missed the 3rd. So she asked me, could I do the 21st? So you can see I have that circled in my name there. Then I have just a few little notes to myself here. Now today, each day we had a different prompt. So the prompt for the 14th is old days. So I don't know what I'm gonna do for old days, but I'm gonna do something that I used to do many years ago a lot, and I've kind of got away from it, so I'm gonna go back to that. And then the 2 kits, one of them's called Shabby Things and the other one's called Faded Impressions. And during the month of August, you can get these for 25% off. So, like I said, I will link all of that in the description below. So I'm going to lay those aside. And now I didn't print off both kits or all of the freebies or anything like that, but my goodness, just look, this is what I did print off. I mean, it is a ton of goodness here. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to flip through the whole kit because Julie and everybody else has done that. And I'll put links to their videos so you can go over and watch those. But just look how pretty. I mean, they're gorgeous. And then it's Julie's Papercraft is who designed this one, I'm pretty sure. Or this freebie. This was a freebie, actually. So look at that. I mean, she did such a good job. It's just beautiful. And since I'm going to do the vintage type or the old days, I'm probably going to use some of this back kit back here. I'm going to use some of these. I think that is really pretty right there. That old bicycle. Well, I don't know. You probably wouldn't call that old. I would, but I think they still sell bicycles like that nowadays. And that's pretty. Look at that. The dresses on there. So let's start out with those 2. But you've got lots of ephemera and pages, everything with these kits. So make sure that you go over and check them out. Make sure that you go to the links that I have below. I'll have everyone's videos and YouTube channels linked down there. So go over and show them some love, like and subscribe to their channel. And pick up these kits because I know that you will not regret it. Okay, so what we're going to do is work with some junk mail envelopes because you guys know that I love junk mail envelopes. I used to use them all the time in my journals, and I've kind of slowly got away from them and doing other things, and I've got to get back because I've got a stack like this wide and who knows how deep. Now some of these I've already cut, but I'm just going to show you. Now you can use the whole envelope if you want. You can just use the whole thing. But I am going to cut these, and I'm going to make them where you can use them for side tucks. So I'm going to leave about 1 inch down here. Now this is my fold. This is the open spot. So I'm going to leave about an inch. And I'm not going to mark this. I'm just going to cut up. It may not be perfectly straight, but it'll be good enough for me. And then you've got 2 side tucks when you do that. Now you can cut them exactly the same. You can do measuring. You guys know I don't care to measure, so all right, let's see. This one I want to do backward, I think. And when I say backward, I think I'm going to start cutting on this side, the open side, and see what happens. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to go about an inch up, and then I'm just angling my scissors. So now I have one that is open this way with the fold there, and then I have one that's just the opposite. So, like I said, lots of different ways you can do this. Lay those aside. Now, I don't particularly care for that big point up there, so I'm just going to cut that point off. Again, no measuring, just cut. And this one, it looks like I came up about maybe an inch and a half, so you don't have to be precise, you don't have to be exact, you can just do your own thing. I'm going to go in here and just glue some of these pieces down that are kind of loose to begin with. Okay, that should get that. And I did not cut that straight, did I? That's a little bit better. Okay, we're going to start out with this one. Now, you can cover the whole thing, or you can have your window down here and use your window if you want. I usually cover the whole thing on some of these, and then some of the larger ones, let's see if I can find a larger one here. Like this, I may use that window in that one, because that would be, you could put a pretty flower or something behind there. But on this one, I'm just going to cover the whole thing. Now, I'll check again where my opening is. My opening is over here, so I am going to probably lay my paper a little bit past, and I'm going to show you on this side. I'm just going to let a little bit go over like that, because I will fold this over. So I think I'm just going to start over here. Now I did leave my glue stick open, so it's a little gummy this morning, but we'll get it. I could grab another, but I'm just going to get this one going. Usually if you get that first part off that got real gummy, it'll be fine from there. At least on the ones that we carry. I don't know about anybody else's. Somebody asked me about another glue stick. How did it perform? And I said, I really don't know, because I've never used that one. So I only know about what I have used. There's another little part right here that's loose, so I'm going to glue that down. And then I'm just going to cut a little bit past all of that. I'm probably leaving 5/8 of an inch all the way around. Like that. And then I'm going to cut the corners. And let's see what we can do here. There we go. So then we will go ahead, and I know you're saying, don't fold that over, you're going to close your pocket. I'm not. I'm just, right now, I'm just folding. No, I say I'm not. I have done that before. But I'm trying just to fold right now and see where I might need a little bit more cut out, like right there. Okay. Now this part is going to fold over on the inside. That will help cover this inside part of my envelope. Now you may have some pretty junk mail envelopes. Ours are not pretty at all. So I try to cover anything that I think is going to show. I got my sweet little Lila today, my grand puppy, and she's just really, really quiet. She gets very, very depressed when Bethany goes off and leaves her. She just gets real depressed. She doesn't eat good, she doesn't drink good, she just kind of lays around. So that's all she's been doing all morning. She just hadn't made much of a sound. I feel bad for her, but I don't know what to do, because the more I hold her, the more lonely she gets. So But anyway, she's a sweet little girl. It's a teeny, teeny, teeny little girl, too. Okay. Now, just folding all of that around. And so now we have that side covered. Isn't that cute? We left all of this open, so this is still open. And then I am going to cover the back side, and I'll show you why in just a minute. A lot of you might say, well, why are you going to cover the back if you're going to glue it down? Well, I'm not necessarily going to glue this one down, but I think I'm going to cover the back side with some of this paper. So I'm going to mark it about where I need it. Now, I never get exact, so I just give myself a little mark to go by. Let's see, I need to go past that. And I need to go a little bit past this. That will work. So how are you guys doing today? I hope everybody's doing good. I have not had a video up in the last few days just because my TN has really flared up and it's been giving me fits, so I have had to kind of back off a little bit on talking and all of that. That's what really sets it off a lot, is the talking, brushing my teeth, chewing, coughing, yawning. But mainly if I talk a lot, it really gets, and my fall that I took is what flared it up, so it's my own fault. And for those of you who have no clue what TN is, it's trigeminal neuralgia, and it's in your jaw. It's the nerve that comes around from the base of your brain into your jaw and your teeth and your nose and your eye, all of that. And mine is terribly, terribly bad. It's something that's you can't get rid of. I mean, it's there for life. You can't. There is a surgery that some people have had, but the success rate on the surgery is like 20%. So, and it's a brain surgery. So I'm not too particular about, at last resort I might do that. But right now they have some medicine that, I take and it kind of helps. But like I said, my fall flared it back up again. So it's just one of those things that you just gotta learn to live with. It's a nerve problem. So, okay, you're not wanting to fold right, why aren't you? There we go. Sometimes your envelope will want to fold with your paper, and you just have to kind of manhandle it and let it know who's boss. There we go. And then this little piece up here. Now, you don't have to fold these around like I'm doing, but I just find that it's a lot better. It helps cover some of that on the inside. You could even leave a larger fold if you want. And I've got like 4 videos I need to do today, so my talking may, I may have to take another pill. Because I'm behind on a couple of, not collabs, these are affiliate videos that I need to do. So I'm kind of behind on some of those too, since I had to take a day or 2 off. Okay, there we go. See? Got both sides covered. And now the way that I would put this on my page, let me grab a page. I had something here. So if this was my page, I'm just going to pretend this is a single page. I would put it on like this and have it fold around to this side of the page, and then you've got a tuck here and a tuck here. Or if you want to, you don't have to cover the back side, and you can just glue it down and let it be a double side tuck if you want. That's up to you. But of course you can't put it on this side because this is the side that's going to attach to your signature spine. So, but put it this way, and you can also, if you want to, you can leave this sticking out just a tiny bit. Don't put it all the way up to the edge, and that can be like a tab on your page. Let me lay another piece here on top just to show you what it would look like. So if I didn't want to push it up all the way, I could have a long tab right there on that page. So that's a couple of ways that you can do that. But that one, other than embellishing a little bit, that one's ready to go. And I don't think they need embellishing much. Look how pretty they are. I would definitely ink around them a little bit, just because I like to ink. If you hear something banging and clanging, that's my tore up washer. Just ignore it. My washer has seen better days. I need a new one, but I can't afford one right now, so it's just going to have to do what it's going to do. But yeah, when it starts to spin, it bangs and clangs all over the house. So if you hear that, I'm sorry. I did have to wash clothes this morning. So we're going to do a little shorter one now. And let's see, let's grab another paper. I love these suitcases. Isn't that pretty? Let's do this. And I think instead of my glue stick, I'm just going to use my art glitter glue. This is a 28-pound paper, so it's not going to, the art glitter glue lines is not going to show through. Oops. Okay, now I'm kind of guessing because I meant to turn that upside down and I didn't. So I'm just going to stick it just a little bit and then flip it over so I can get this somewhat near straight. There we go. We had lots of rain this morning, and I loved it. I love rain, but the sun's come back out now. Okay, we're going to do this one the same way. Just going to cut some at these corners. Just cut a little bit out so that they fold better. You don't have that bulk in there. There we go. And then I like to pre-fold them. It just makes it a little bit easier. There we go. And then I always like to put this one in first, because I usually, if I don't, that's where I mess up and forget and close up my pocket. Now, if you just wanted this and didn't want, you know, the back side to be used, you could just glue this down and let this be it. But I want to be able to use that back side because I'm going to put it on two different sides of my page. But that's up to the individual. I want to thank Julie and Mandy, I believe it is, for inviting me to be part of this collab. And like I said, again, I apologize for messing up. I feel so bad about it. But, you know, I can't go back and change that. All I can do is try to do the very best that I can with what I have left, right? Okay, there we go. Look at that. How cute. I mean, I just love their paper. So then we're going to put a different paper on the back side. So let's just choose this one. Those are going to go together perfectly. The kiddos are at the Ark today singing. They were booked at the Ark to sing, so they're at the Ark. And I've never been there. I know a lot of people have. I've never been. The kids have been. I think this is their third year to be singing there, but one of these years I'm going to be able to go with them. I don't know where my mark is. There it is. I just could not. I couldn't go this time because I told them I would not be good company with my pain level as it was, so I just didn't want to go this time. I wanted to, but I just couldn't go this time. Maybe next year. If you've been to the Ark, let me know in the comments below. Did you like it? And I'm saying Ark, A-R-K, and I think it's like Noah's Ark. It's a replica of Noah's Ark, and I think it's in Kentucky, if I'm right on that. Do believe Aaron was very excited. He was ready to go. He loves it. So he has sent me 2 or 3 pictures of him before he went in the door and after he went in the door. And I think they're singing at 3:30, which is just a little bit away. And again, for any of you new that don't have a clue what I'm talking about, I know on these collabs, a lot of new people watch, and you know, I talk to my people that are normally on here because they kind of know my whole life. But for those of you who don't know, my kiddos and my grandkids, they sing in a gospel group, and they're called the Pilot Family, and they sing all over. Oh, having a time holding this one. So they got invited to sing at the Ark again this year. They have, I think this week is like their gospel week at the Ark. So they enjoy it every year when they go. They have a good time there. There we go. Okay, now we can glue. I'm going to trim a little bit more of that off because it's trying to fold on me. And then my niece she's in Utah right now, and she's sending me pictures of where she is. So I'm like, oh, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of all of y'all being able to go and see all of the things that you're seeing, because it's some beautiful country out there. I don't think I've ever been to Utah. I've been to Colorado and Wyoming and places like that, but I don't think I've ever been to Utah, but I'd like to go one day. So I'm getting bombarded with pictures, which is fine. I love them. Okay, there's another one. Isn't that cute? And again, it would go just on the edge of your page, and you can just slide it on like that. And you can bring it all the way up where it's flush with the edge of the page, and just glue it, you know, down through there and across here, and then you've still got that tuck. Or you can leave it out just a little bit and let that be a little tab on your page. So I think they're cute. I enjoy making them, and I don't know why I all of a sudden stopped for a while, but I'm going to do this big one, and I'm going to do it a little bit different. It's not going to be a side tuck. It's actually going to be a pocket, double pocket. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue this down because I don't need this. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. And I have a lot of these that are, you know, they don't even have this flap. But if you have the flap, you can go ahead and glue it down. Okay. Now I'm going to trim off just a tiny bit of this at the top. Well, I'll tell you what, let's cover it and then we'll trim it off. How's that sound? Let's cover it first. And I'm just going to use I think I'm going to use this to cover it with. Yeah. All right, now I'm going to show you how I cover these to leave my window open. You can cover them any way you want. You can do it with scraps. You can do it with pieces. This is just, I like to go fast. I don't like to go slow. I like to do things the fast way, so I try to find little ways to do things a little bit faster than normal. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so make sure I got that pretty well. Okay, so we got that covered there. And then I'm just going to bring this around. I'm going to fold it, and I guess I'll fold this way. I know I'm flipping it around and around. I apologize for that. I'm trying to fold it before the glue gets dry, and that's not a good thing always, but I'm going to put my ruler there and see if that can help me a little bit. So now I'm going to flip that around, make sure that I've got it all the way up against that. And then I'm going to trim off. And I'm just going to trim right down through there. Matter of fact, I'm going to tear it. Just going to leave All right, I'm going to look at it this way. And I'm thinking that's going to be enough to fold around on my window. So I'm going to mark that. And then I'm going to put my ruler over here, and I'll know about where to put my ruler. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So you just have to kind of swing with it. And see, I'm a little short, but that's okay, because you know what we'll do? We'll use some ink there. It doesn't have to be exact. No. All right, I'm a little short, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tear another piece of this. See, I told you, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to tear another piece of this paper. And you're thinking, oh, this is too much. And then I'm going to glue that paper right there. So yeah, sometimes I make it and sometimes I don't. And you can measure there again. The measuring helps you out a lot. I'm just not a measurer. I just don't like to measure. And see, I can either fold that over or just cut it right at the edge. I'm just going to fold it over because I'll put some labels or something down through there. So it's not a big deal to me. So I'm just going to fold it over. And then on this one, I'm going to try to leave a little bit more. I can always cut some off. See, I should have done that in the beginning, shouldn't I? Just the way I roll. Okay. So then this will fold down there. And I got it about where I want it. So I'm not going to worry about that. Yeah. It's a little bit longer than the top of the window, but it's going to be fine. Just going to make sure my edges are cut well. I just try to do this. It's a little bit better on me than trying to, I'm going to make this edge a little bit rougher, than trying to piece it, because I'm not one to piece things. So, okay, so we're going to do that. And I am going to glue this side down first. So let's put glue all over here. And glue down through here. Sometimes I do piece if I'm using, my scraps. I will just put the scraps on there and piece it with all my scraps. But sometimes if I'm using a full sheet of paper like this, I'll just put the whole thing around it. Okay. That little tip off of that corner. And so then we have this. Now I'm going to fold my pocket to the back. This is going to be a little clip-on. So I'm going to fold my pocket to the back. This is going to be my extra pocket right here. Now this is the only place at the bottom where you really can't do that fold around, because if you do, one side's going to be upside down. So I usually just cut it off or tear it off and place this one on there. Oops. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit of ink right up there on that because I've got a little bit of white showing where I tore it. And then we'll put this down. Okay, there we are. Now, you see this little edge right here that we didn't go over? You could have gone over that edge if you had wanted, but when I put the paper on this side, I will go over that edge just a little bit. So I am going to put my paper, I'm just going to tear it off about right here. And then I'm going to leave it the width that it is. I am going to try to straighten it up a little bit though, because I actually cut that pretty crooked. So we're going to put our glue on here. Just going to lay it out so I can get to it a little bit better. And then I'm going to let this fold over inside the pocket a little bit. Make sure I got it the right way up, because I'm famous about putting things upside down. There we go. Now you could cut this inner part off if you don't want your pocket to be that thick. You can cut that off. You don't have to leave it. Leave both of them. You don't really need both of them. Okay, now this is going to fold up here, but I don't want that much folded up. I just want a little bitty bit to fold up. So I'm going to trim it off right at the edge. Again, you can measure and you don't, have those little pieces left over. You can measure all of this if you want. This is just my way. See, if I put just a little bit like that, then you don't see, it didn't mess with this. And then you can fold this completely around if you want and let it close your pocket up. Or you can just fold it to the inside. Now, I don't want to fold it around, because if I fold it around, I'm going to have like 3 layers of paper on this side. So I'm just going to fold it over and let it close my pocket. And I'll just glue my pocket down. But it's up to you. If I didn't have the 3 layers, I would. But, I've already put that other layer on there, so I'm going to leave it. There we go. Now you can cut a little punch in the top of this, and I have no clue if this is going to punch because the glue is wet. Okay, and then we'll do a little glue here right on the edge, and a little bit of glue right there on the edge. And there is our little pocket on the back. So you can put a tag or whatever in there. And then on this side, we're going to cut this open right here at the top. I'm just going to cut a little sliver, as little as I can, and still open it. Okay, it's going to need a little bit more. I'm going to use my trimmer. I know. I should use my trimmer a lot more, and I wouldn't cut so crooked. Sorry, things are falling. Let's use our trimmer and trim this off. Now we should have it open. I think so. Yep. So now we've got that open. Now you can put some extra paper down in here if you want to cover that. I probably will later, but you guys already know how to do that, so I'm not going to spend some time on that. Okay, I like to never got that one punched. So we got our little punch here at the top. Now you can make a tag to go down in here that has a beautiful flower or something on there. Look at this. That would probably be very pretty, but I think I saw one a minute ago that I wanted to use. I think I like this. So I'm going to make a quick tag. It's going to be very quick. Okay, this one will cut down so it will fit. First, this is just the backing from some Tim Holtz ephemera. I keep all of those and I use them. So I think that's about the right size. I did not measure. No, I did not. Now, I would definitely go in and cover behind here so that when you pull your tag out, you don't see that envelope. But I'm not going to do that right now because you guys know how to do that. I'm going to trim that off just a tiny bit more. I think that will be better. Yeah, that works right there. And I'm going to let it stick out probably about like that. Now let's see if we can get this centered on here. I think we can. Yeah, I keep all of these, the backings to the ephemera packs. I keep all of those and I use them like this. Let's see. That looks about right. It doesn't have to be in the center, as long as it's somewhere near and not too far off. There we go. And then let's see. I think I might fold it around, so I'm just going to trim a little of this off. And yes, I'm trimming it very rough. You don't have to trim it straight. This is just something to fold around a little bit. Now we're just going to fold this around like this. And spend more time with it if you want and make all of your little folds and everything straight. I usually do a lot of times. See, that's going to be straight-ish. And that I am straight-ish. That's me. Straight-ish. I'll straighten this up just a tiny bit. Okay, then we're just going to put a little bit of glue on here. Fold it around. There we go. Ooh, look at that, how pretty. That's pretty. And then I am going to, well, I'm going to cover the back first, and then we'll trim the corners, I think. Oh, that tore straight, didn't it? It's good enough, though. Okay. So we're going to go, I'm going to trim this over here on my trimmer. Yep, I'm going to use my trimmer this time because that tearing just didn't work for me there. I am going to lay this down. And I don't mind that that top is jagged. I kind of like that. And just going to trim this off, this white part. No, I don't want it folded around, so we're going to trim it all the way off. I like to look at it and see if it's something that I need, and if it's not, then I just trim it off. So there's your writing part on the back. Then we will trim these corners just a little bit. I don't want to lose any of the images, so I'm just going to trim them just a tiny bit. All right, let's use our ribbon punch. Punch that and put just a little bit of this in it, maybe. Okay. Then put that down in there. Let's see if that flower is going to show. Most of it is, but not enough that so I'm going to trim the bottom of it off. Yep, I'm going to do it. Now let's see. Here again, measure. You don't have to worry about all of this, but you know me. There we go. Perfect. I love that. Love, love, love that. Okay guys, I think that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and again, please go over to all the links that I have below and make sure that you check out the other channels. Show them some love, subscribe to their channel, follow their links, and then go over to the Etsy store and make sure that you purchase these beautiful digitals. They are absolutely gorgeous. They will go off of sale the 1st of September, so you've only got a few days to get those purchases in. All right, we will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.